Hey everyone, it's Alex Miller at Capnion. Interesting lawsuit appeared in the newspaper today. The Wall Street Journal and the New York Post, which are both News Corp Rupert Murdoch properties, are suing AI search engine Perplexity for free writing on their content in general, and I think there's a specific assertion that Perplexity is using their content to train models without permission. In this video, I'm going to cover some general facts of this case and then talk about why it's a little bit of a weird one, and the ways in which it's weird are also kind of old-timey. So in general, find this lawsuit to be a great conversation piece. Perplexity is an AI search engine. You might note a lot of people out there are using ChatGPT for things like tell me how to cook my steaks, and things that you previously might have gone to Google for. Google might have some little widget at the top telling you an answer directly versus sending you somewhere. So here already is an interesting footnote of there's a lot of brouhaha. Is LLM a threat to search? Are they a threat to Google? One objection to the new model is that you no longer have any provenance for where you're getting this information. So enter Perplexity. They roughly follow what I think has to be the only sensible good practice, in that it's kind of like asking ChatGPT, how do I cook this steak? And it'll give you an answer directly in the familiar LLM chatbot format, but it will also give you some sources. This is where I got my information about how to cook a steak. And so the story goes, is better because now you know if you've got a bad source. It's a joke website about how to screw up a steak or who knows. Much more easy to think of horror stories in realms of politics and things like this where misinformation is important. Already we see Perplexity is passing through other people's content, though, and it sounds like, based on the content of this lawsuit, that they need to train their own AI models to go with this situation. So you can situate this lawsuit in just an endless flood of other similar lawsuits. And then also you might contrast them with announcements of partnerships between organizations like OpenAI and media organizations or people that publish books, and all the various sources of the massive amounts of quality text you need to build and maintain a nice LLM. So on the one hand, this is the latest in a familiar phenomenon of a particular kind of lawsuit of an AI company, and they're all probably scraping the whole web. AI company is getting sued for using somebody's content and that somebody or other wants to get paid. I think an interesting twist, and in a way it's kind of backward looking, is that it's a search engine getting into some of the same kind of fights with media outlets that Google has had going on for a long time. And that to some degree, Perplexity is a middleman, and compared to ChatGPT, being a middleman is a feature, not a bug, in that they're telling you, here's something else on the web that I use to get this information I'm now giving to you in chatbot format, and all those other people on the web might or might not have various rights and feel entitled to something from Perplexity, either just from Perplexity profiting off being a middleman, but then inevitably Perplexity is probably on some kind of slippery slope if they want to use that content in training models as well. So this is a fascinating case. In some ways, it's very similar to similar lawsuits around AI that are dime a dozen. But then I think it's very interesting for having this intersection both with this other kind of dime a dozen lawsuit, but also just as a little bit of a rune you can peer into to think about these competitive pressures in big tech, where AI appears to be a threat to search, but then it has its own hangups, and then it runs into search's old hangups as well. I'd watch this lawsuit in particular, and there's a dozen more like it if you want one, but this one could be fun.